Hey guys, although this may seem like a technical title, actually it's really not that much. Probably won't come as news to anybody, but I am giving up on buying virus killers, period. A lot of people gave up years ago, but anybody that uses computers, a lot of people use Mac, and Macs have always been relatively virus free because of the operating system. And people go on and on about it, but they also don't realise that one of the other reasons it hasn't been hacked as much is because there's less interest in hacking it. Whereas Windows is used by 90% of the world, therefore it's who everyone wants to hack. Plus, they hate Microsoft for obvious reasons. So the virus killers, you can get virus killers on your Android phone. Complete waste of time and resources. And if you've got anything on your phone that's that important, why would you put it on your phone for someone to steal or whatever? No. Lock your BIOS on your phone and everything else, yeah, so that it can't be restored. But the best thing to do is not have it on your phone at all. But in terms of viruses, no, your phone, even though Android is prone for viruses, you come across them very, very rarely, so you don't need them for that. Anything you would need them for is a computer, right? Your PC. So here's the thing: what has changed in the last few years with the virus killers and stuff? Do you remember we used to get dedicated pop-up blockers? You can get them for your browsers. Dedicated pop-up blockers. It would be built up into your virus killer. It would stop all pop-up blockers, all threats, all pups, everything. All things that would appear without your say-so, it would all be stopped. The problem you've got now is that when you turn on a copy of Windows 10 or 11, what you're greeted with is a bunch of viruses. Both the programs that you've installed give you notifications you never asked for and can't stop in some cases. And in other cases you can if you feel comfortable doing that. And some people don't because they don't know how to do those kinds of things. Your own virus killer now. If you own something like McAfee, which is shite, but it's got VPN and stuff in, so people might want it for that reason. Or TrueKeys is also a great feature. But if you're using something like McAfee, again, it's going to hit you with pop-ups every time it wants you to do something, or every time it wants you to upgrade, every time. And this is the same with all the security software. The security software itself does the very thing that it was set out to stop, and that is unwanted pop-ups appearing randomly, telling you to buy something, telling you need to upgrade, telling it. That's exactly what they were designed to stop. Windows itself is embedded with what we used to call viruses and malware, in as much as things happen that you didn't ask to happen against your will that interferes with the using of it. I'll give you an example. You start up Windows, you go open your emails, you start looking at your emails, and then 3 other windows pop up in front of them of shit that opens that you never asked for. And so you've got to start closing down Windows programs and everything else. And don't get me wrong, I'm a technical person, so I know how to arrange my startup on my Windows to stop certain programs loading. I'm talking about pop-ups and stuff that should be suppressed. So you start your copy of Windows, you go to click on something, a million times it's happened to me, I go to click on something, end up clicking on something completely different because the window comes up just quick enough, and then you click on that as well, and you must, just like a fucking virus would. That's exactly how the viruses used to catch you out. They used to get you a false sense of security. Just as you go and press something, it would appear at exactly the same time. So you've got all these virus killers now, and all they can really offer you is pop-up blockers for your browser, which you can get for free. And they can offer you VPNs and stuff. You might just pay for a VPN, right? But the actual Windows virus killer is great at killing viruses. And the Windows firewall is perfectly adequate for what it does. We pay for these other things because they sound cool and they got these extra features on. If they got VPNs and stuff like that, yeah, maybe they're worth getting. But for the actual virus killer itself, if your main thing is killing viruses, don't bother. Windows allows viruses, and therefore the virus killers now have to allow what I would call viruses. Maybe not so harmful, but intrude on your phone. You turn an Android phone on now. Trying to make a phone call when you turn that phone on at first it's a 5-minute wait. But just notification, you suppress all the notifications, and it's do this, do that, need this, need that. Same with the PC. This is not an accident of function. This is one, they just don't care about your using experience. And 2, they've taken liberties. They've taken liberties with popping stuff up on the screen. But this is from Microsoft Windows, so it's okay. No, it's not. We got pop-up blockers to stop stuff interfering. So you've got things built into Steam, you've got things built into all parts of your computer and programs to stop things from popping up. But the problem is they're embedded into Microsoft itself, so they keep popping up. Same as your Android phone. The reason it's harder to suppress these things is because Android was bought by Google. People keep saying to me, and I find this incredible. People come up to me and they say, "Tom, do you know how to get Google off my phone?" I'm like, "Google what? Google? Do you mean the browser?" "No, Google." And I'm like, "You're an Android phone, yeah? You do realise that Google owns Android, don't you? So therefore, it's always going to have Google on. You cannot remove Google from Android because it's one and the same thing." People don't realise that. So Google allow all of the... So when you turn your Android phone on, you're smashed with things in the face. There's no point. A pop-up blocker wouldn't stop it because it's considered okay by the system. Same with your PC. If it's okayed by Microsoft, and it's okayed by their partners, which will be the virus killers and everything else, they'll give a thumbs up to it. But they will come down and tell you got a virus if you've got a file with the word keygen in. Because it's a heuristic thing. That could be a bad file. People use that to rip games off, so we'll say it's a virus. It's a false positive. Because half the time I could write a text document, blank text document, put the name keygen on it, and it would pick it up as a virus. And that's why it makes you feel like it's finding stuff. Half the time it's not. If I was people, don't buy a virus killer. Don't buy it. Get something like Trojan Remover. Trojan Remover will complement your Windows virus killer by searching for really embedded bad viruses that really do your system harm. And it will, with the assistance of Windows while not being turned off, trigger an event if there is a virus on your machine, and it will stop it and erase it. Beyond that, so that's more for rootkit viruses and stuff like that. So Trojan Remover by Simply Super Software, great program. And then maybe some sort of cleaner or spyware program. In terms of actual antivirus programs, Windows got everything you need. On top of that, they've also allowed all the other companies to get away, and including themselves, with pop-ups and constant irritations anyway. I can't use... I stop a lot of programs from appearing on mine, but it takes me minutes, sometimes a lot longer, just to access the actual screen that I was trying to access in the first place due to constant interruptions. It's a nightmare. And this is with Do Not Disturb on and everything else. So, advice 25, stop buying virus killers. They're a waste of money. Yet, I only ever buy them if I see them on offer and if they are a suite that has something like a VPN in. Actually, VPN might be a VPN and a password manager. Those two things are useful for me. The virus killer itself will never get installed. Why? Windows virus killer does the job. Trojan Remover will remove anything that is really bad, and you just got to make sure you back up regularly, and that's it. But as for stopping pop-ups and unwanted for software, you can't. It's now inbuilt into everything. It's embedded. They've embedded their own... It's like they haven't applied the rules to themselves that they were applying to everybody else. So now people don't even know... They don't even realise, like newer people that come into the scene, they don't even realise that there was a time when you used to be able to turn on your computer and have the experience of just going to whatever program you wanted and running it. People don't know now. They're so used to turning on their machine and constantly being hit with questions. I mean, to me, it's maddening, but to many people, it's normal now. It shouldn't be. The experience is supposed to be yours, not the one that they provide for you. It's getting fucking stupid, which is why they require you to be online all the time, by the way. It is why they require you to be online all the time, so they can keep doing this. There is no other reason to require you to be online. Copyright is what it all comes down to. Copyright and messing with you. It's the same with PlayStation. If someone goes out, I haven't got one by the way, but someone goes out and buys a PlayStation, I'm hearing that apparently they get about 30% for a game, and then it forces them to connect to the internet before they're allowed to complete that game that they paid full price for. Insane, but this has been going on for a long time. Anyway, I'm getting off the topic, so just a quick one. Why you shouldn't buy a virus killer? What's the point? What's the point if the people that make the operating system are helping, aiding and abetting, and if the virus companies themselves are aiding and abetting? what's the point? You might as well use Windows virus killer that at least kills viruses. Anyway, Tom Fury, Tom's Generation X.